The Valerian fleet stretched across the void like a net of stars, their crystalline ships gleaming with an arrogance earned through 10,000 years of conquest. They had never known defeat. Their commanders had never tasted fear. Until today, Imogen stood on the bridge of the UHNS Defiance, humanity's first dreadnought-class warship, her fingers dancing across holographic displays that would have seemed like magic to her ancestors. But to her, they were tools, instruments of humanity's refusal to kneel. "Jump complete, Captain," announced Jason Rivera from the navigation station, his dark eyes reflecting the swirling nebula outside. "We're at the edge of the Kryn system. The Valerian blockade is directly ahead." Emma nodded, her jaw set. Behind that blockade, 3 million human colonists waited in terror as the Valorians prepared their cleansing protocol, a sterile term for genocide. The Galactic Council had done nothing. They never did when humanity was involved. Humans were the newcomers, the upstarts who had clawed their way to the stars in mere centuries while others had taken millennia. "Open a channel," Emma commanded. "All frequencies." The communications officer complied, and Emma's voice echoed across every ship in the system. Valerian, human refugee vessels, even the cowardly council observers hiding at the system's edge. "This is Captain Emma Chun of the United Human Naval Ship Defiance. You are currently blockading human worlds and threatening human lives. You have one chance to withdraw. You will not get a second." The response came quickly, dripping with contempt. The Valerian fleet master's reptilian face filled the screen, his 4 eyes blinking in what his species considered laughter. "One ship," he hissed. "You send one ship against my armada of 300. Your species' arrogance knows no bounds, mammal. We will add your wreckage to our collection, and your colonists will—" Emma cut the transmission. "Jason, charge the railguns. All of them." Jason's fingers flew across his console. Around the Defiance, ports opened along her 5-kilometer hull. What emerged made the sensors of every ship in the system scream warnings. Humanity had spent 50 years studying Valerian warfare, learning their tactics, understanding their technology. And then humanity had done what humanity did best. They had innovated beyond it. The Valorians relied on energy shields and plasma weapons, technology that had remained largely unchanged for thousands of years. Why improve perfection, they reasoned. But humanity remembered a lesson from their own history. Perfection is the enemy of progress. "Railguns charged, Captain," Jason reported. "Ammunition, tungsten carbide penetrators. Velocity, 0.3 c. 0.3 the speed of light. Kinetic energy that could shatter moons." The Valerian fleet began to move, their shields shimmering to life, their plasma cannons charging with that distinctive purple glow that had ended 1,000 civilizations. Emma allowed herself a cold smile. "Fire." The Defiance spoke. What happened next would be studied in military academies for generations. The tungsten rods, accelerated to relativistic speeds, simply ignored the Valerian shields. Energy barriers meant nothing to solid matter moving at 90,000 kilometers per second. The laws of physics, impartial and absolute, did the rest. The first salvo destroyed 47 Valerian ships. They didn't explode dramatically. They simply ceased to exist, converted to plasma and debris by the sheer kinetic impact. The galaxy fell silent. Every species with sensors trained on the Kryn system watched in disbelief. The Valorians, invincible for 10,000 years, were dying. And they were dying to primitive kinetic weapons, technology so old that most species had abandoned it eons ago. "Evasive maneuvers," Jason called out as purple plasma bolts finally began to arc toward them. The Defiance twisted with an agility that belied her size. Her experimental gravity drives allowing movements impossible for traditional vessels. Emma watched the tactical display with the calm of someone who had accepted death long ago. Every human on this ship had volunteered, knowing they might not return. But they also knew that sometimes survival meant showing the galaxy that humanity would not go quietly into extinction. "Second salvo," Emma ordered. "Target their command ship." The fleet master's face reappeared on screen, but his arrogance had transformed into something humans recognized instantly: terror. "Wait. We can negotiate." The transmission ended as his ship broke apart, the fleet master's final moment broadcast across the galaxy. The remaining Valerian ships scattered. Some tried to fight, their plasma weapons scoring the Defiance's armor but failing to penetrate the layered defenses. Others tried to flee, jumping to faster-than-light speed in random directions. Humanity had spent centuries being underestimated. Today, that ended. Within an hour, the blockade was broken. The Valerian Armada, 300 strong, was reduced to debris and fleeing survivors who would carry a message back to their empire. Humanity was not prey. Jason turned to Emma, his face pale but determined. "Captain, we're receiving transmissions from the Council observers. They're requesting to speak with you." Emma almost laughed. Now they wanted to talk. Now that humanity had proven it could bite back. "Tell them we'll talk after we've ensured our colonists are safe," she said. "And Jason, start composing a message to Earth. Tell them we'll need more ships. The Defiance won't be alone for long." As the great warship turned toward the colony worlds below, its weapons still hot from battle, something shifted in the galactic consciousness. Humanity had been dismissed as newcomers, as primitives playing with stolen technology. But the battlefield trembled with the truth. Humans didn't just survive in the cosmos. They thrived. They adapted. They innovated. And when pushed, they showed the galaxy something it had forgotten in its millennia of stagnation. That evolution's greatest weapon wasn't size or strength or ancient technology, that it was the refusal to accept defeat. The galaxy fell silent as humanity's warship arrived. And in that silence, the old powers finally understood. The age of their dominance was ending, that a new era had begun.